If you want to automate your business's phone calls with AI, but you also don't want to learn how to prompt, how to build tools or functions, and the different platforms out there, then this video is for you. Today, I will be covering a platform called Thoughtly, which has taken a bit of a different approach to voice AI than the other platforms out there. An approach that is extremely easy. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hugo. I've been building and selling voice AI solutions for just over a year now, and I've actually known about this platform for a while, and I've also thought about making a video on this platform, but I kind of never pulled the trigger until Thoughtly and the founders made my decision a little bit easier, as this video is actually sponsored by them, and essentially they're just paying me to make a video about their platform. Now, before you think that this will change what I say about the platform, it won't. They haven't paid for my opinion. I will still be going through the different pros of the platform as well as the things that I don't like about the platform. Now, the reason why I haven't made a video about this before is that this isn't a platform I usually cover, as it's not one I personally use. So what I've done over the past week is kind of dive into Thoughtly, giving it a more extensive look at how the platform works, how the whole ecosystem of Thoughtly works as a whole, so that I can make this video for you guys. Now, some of the things I noted down about Thoughtly are, it is a non-technical platform. Now, what I mean by this is that literally anyone can jump onto Thoughtly and build and deploy a voice AI agent in just a few minutes or an hour. Now, for me, this obviously doesn't matter because I'm more of a technical person, but this is a huge pro for businesses that don't want to hire people like me or my team to help them build voice AI agents and instead want to do it themselves, but the barrier to entry for platforms like Vapi, Synthflow or Bland were just too high for them. Now, because it is a bit non-technical, you're not really getting the amount of customization that you would with a platform like Vapi, but that's because Vapi is built for developers, whereas Thoughtly is built for the casual business owner and casual user. Now, the second thing I noted down about Thoughtly is that it just has a beautiful UI. Now, from all the other voice AI platforms I've seen, this by far has the nicest UI out there, and that just shows who they are really targeting, and that is business owners who don't want to have to deal with ugly UI, APIs, backends, things like this. They want to do things on a nice platform that is very simple, streamlined, and easy to understand. Now, the third thing that I had noted down was voice flow for voice AI. And what I mean by this is that Thoughtly gives me voice flow vibes, in the sense that Thoughtly kind of reminds me of VoiceFlow, which is a chatbot builder, but for voice AI, in the sense that you have this canvas where you can type in what the agent or the AI should be saying roughly. So hi, hello. And then what you can do is create an outcome. So that could be someone saying yes or no, something like that. And then from that, you drag and create another speech thing, allowing you to really create those conversational pathways. The fourth thing I noted down for Thoughtly is that this is an A to Z solution. Vapi, I would say, is the core. It has the voice AI functionality, and you could literally build everything around Vapi itself. You can create and add a phone number to Vapi just using Twilio. You can deploy it onto your make.com server or your Replit server or just any server. You can have basically all customization and functionality, but it isn't an A to Z solution like Thoughtly. What Thoughtly have done is, because they are looking to provide for the more non-technical business owner, they've done A to Z solution in the sense that you buy a number on Thoughtly, you create your agent on the canvas on Thoughtly, so you don't have to prompt it, you don't have to deal with this. You're not choosing any sort of LLM model. Thoughtly has all of that logic done in their own backend. You're also deploying it on Thoughtly, you're adding and creating contacts within Thoughtly. Everything is done within their own ecosystem, and you buy all these different things and use what they have as credits. Now, for me, again, this isn't a pro because I would prefer customization. I want the ability to add things at the beginning or do and change certain things within Vapi or another platform that kind of just gives me APIs. But the whole point of Thoughtly is for non-technical business owners, and this is amazing. The fact that you can sign up to one platform and have and build and deploy a voice AI agent from that platform only, and not have to learn how to buy a Twilio number and then deploy it to your Vapi agent, or how to do this and that. Now, for me, this isn't a huge pro or a con. It's kind of just neutral. But for the average business owner that wants to just jump onto one platform and be able to build and deploy a voice AI agent all on that one single platform and not have to learn much, not have to deal with Twilio, not have to deal with all these other things, it is incredible. Okay, so we're on Thoughtly. I'm gonna sign in quickly. Like I said, this platform is an A to Z solution, so I'm gonna go over it real quick on the left. I'm not gonna dive into too much on every little section, but I will give a quick summary. So we have agents. This is where we build our agents. Genius, this is their form of a knowledge base. So here you can add a data source, so that could be text, audio, PDF, CSV, URL, things like this, all to one simple and main knowledge base, then can be connected to one of your agents so that it can access a knowledge base. Obviously, we want to have knowledge bases. Then this is something that you won't have if you sign up to Thoughtly today, as it is in the beta, and obviously they gave it to me kind of to test. It's kind of just like their version of make.com in the sense that you can create an automation, have it, trigger based on something. So on the call completed, we can select the agents. So that's what we have, the solar demo. And then, we have generate, next steps, etc. And then, we can extract fields, do this or that, but still I would recommend using make.com with Thoughtly. So I'm kind of going to ignore this automations part, as like I said, you wouldn't even have access to it anyway. So then we have voices. So this is just like 11 Labs, very simple. You can search different voices. You basically have access to all the different 11 Labs voices. You can save them. You would just press save and then add it to your account. As you saw, that one actually costs 4 times the credits. Then we have contacts. This is kind of Thoughtly's own CRM. As you can see, I have my own email, a number, and then you could upload, bulk upload lots of contacts right here. Create contacts just within Thoughtly itself, where you add a name, a phone number, and email, and then you can press on those contacts and press call, or I could select all of those and then up here press call bulk contacts. Basically, it's Thoughtly's own CRM, and you can add different sort of tags and attributes to the contacts as well. So if I went into this, press manage, I could add different tags. So let's say sale lead didn't respond, whatever. It's your own built-in, it's Thoughtly's own built-in CRM. Then we have phone numbers. This again is very, very simple. This is simply the number that you have purchased on Thoughtly. So I could buy a number and basically buy different numbers. So let's say a 440-740-3230. That's just a local number. And then I could also get a different country number. So I can go to United Kingdom. Now for United Kingdom, you actually have to contact support because you have to do a business verification and other things, because the UK has more strict laws. But this is again something that I really like about Thoughtly, is that this is not allowing you to do illegal activities, right? You can get into trouble by using VAPI and just connecting your number and just spamming and creating fraud and things like this, but you cannot do that with Thoughtly. This is a thing that is all supervised with them within their platform. Something that I can, for example, show you is that with my phone number, I just added SMS capabilities to the number, but it won't let me do it because my A2P campaign has not been improved. That is because I've currently not verified my business with Thoughtly, and therefore it is not legal for me to send outbound SMS. So until that is kind of verified, for now I can't send SMS. So this is kind of, again, an actual good thing, because it is A to Z. You are not going to have to deal with problems, because you're just not going to be allowed to do things if you haven't got the right verifications, the right laws and legal places, and the right legal guidelines for what you're doing with voice AI agents. Then you can do, for deployment, you can do batch jobs. This is just when, like I said, if you go into contacts, press all of your contacts, call bulk contacts, that would be in the batch jobs. Integrations, this is very simple. So you can integrate different apps. This is just via Zapier. I'm not sure why they have this as a section. It doesn't really mean anything. Then you have integrations and then webhook, and that's where you can kind of do a few other things. So as you can see, I've created a webhook here, and it's linked to a make.com scenario. So actually this is the make.com scenario. I'll talk about it later in a second. And you can basically send data to a webhook after an event. So a new response or a phone transfer or an action failed, those things can be sent to a webhook. Then you have library, which this is just simply, your kind of call transcripts, your call logs. You can go onto it. You can, so as you can see here, I was testing the agent I built, which I will go into in more detail in a second. You can.
Hi, am I speaking with Hugo?
Hi there, yes, you are. You can listen to the recording, you can download the recording, you can look through the transcript, you can look at the summary, you can do all types of things, and this is again very useful. And then we have general. I'm not going to go into depth on general because obviously these are the kind of settings, but those 5 or 6 main sections are what we really need. So now I'm going to go into more detail on what I built, which is a solar demo for outbound. Okay, so we start the conversation here. I simply say, hi, am I speaking with contact name? So this would just be, Hugo. Am I speaking with Hugo? And then this is kind of the canvas. Like I said, it's a voice flow type for voice AI where you can add an outcome. So I've added yes or no. Essentially what I'm saying is that you can segment all types of different conversations into different pathways. So I have yes goes down to, did you recently fill out a form for a solar savings estimate? Awesome, my name is Mary, etc. We go through all these different outcomes. As you can see here, we have an outcome, yes, no. Gives address, doesn't want to give address because we ask for the address. And essentially in this conversation, like I said, it's very simple. I'm not going to go into depth on this part because this is so simple. All you want to do is have a conversation, a speak, what should they say, the agent, and then what outcome is likely to happen. So, for a question like, am I speaking with Hugo? Really the only thing that people can say is yes, no, and potentially fuck off. So then you want to kind of create those conversational pathways based on that. You can also end the conversation. So let's say someone said fuck off, you could say fuck you and then instantly end the conversation like this. And then you would just link those two nodes together. And now you have, if someone says fuck off, they say fuck you. Also, some other things that we can do on the canvas is we can create a action node. So this would just be like sending a webhook or sending an API request to something, as you can see here, or Calendly potentially. I think they have an integration for Calendly, sending an SMS, transferring it, or just ending the conversation. So this basically allows you to play around with the canvas. Again, like I said, it's a voice flow for voice AI in the sense that you have these long conversational pathways. You can add actions exactly when they want to be done. So it's a lot more controllable, but like it is more rigid, it is more stern. But again, this is a better thing for new and less experienced people. You don't have to deal with prompts, you don't have to deal with edge cases. You are just dealing with everything all on this canvas on its own. On the canvas as well, you have Genius. So this would be when you would select your Genius. This is where you'd have your knowledge base. You also have different tools. Actually, I don't know what this does. I guess you can add a Calendly. I wasn't able to look into that and I just kind of ignored it instantly. You also have presence. So this is how you customize your agent. So you can have a background audio like a coffee shop. So I'm actually going to change that to it. You can add some sort of interim audio. So this is just like what happens after the user has finished speaking and before the agent responds, kind of like during the latency. You can add some humor. So I'm going to add some medium humor, balanced humor and professional. Why not? And that's it for presence. Then we also have post call. So this is if you want to add tags to the contact. So if the demo was, not answered or whatever, you can add different tags there. You also have voicemail. So basically what should happen if the call is not answered. If the call is not answered, the agent will hang up and not leave a voicemail. But you could also tick this and basically make the agent say, hi there, I wanted to call about your solar savings estimate, right? And that would just be useful for the people that do check the voicemail. Then we also have advanced. So this is just giving a like system prompt, I would say, for advanced. So you could just say, make sure to always listen carefully, whatever, right? This is just kind of where you would put your advanced prompt. So something like here, I would add, if a user asks a question, check the Genius for additional info, let's say. And this would just be useful to give like a system prompt about how to use Genius in that scenario. Okay, so that is the agent. It's pretty simple. So now what I'll do is start a call with myself, obviously, and just to demo how that agent works. So this, by the way, I'm like selecting it within Thoughtly, but what you can actually do just before I show it, if I go into the API reference for Thoughtly, what you can do is essentially create and start a conversation via API. What you would do is create a contact. So let's say, someone fills in the form, we add their phone number. So let's say we do 123 456 789 1, right? And that's their number. Then we would add their name. So Hugo, email Hugo at Artillo AI, let's say. country, UK. And then what we would do is create this contact. So now if I pressed send, it would create this new contact in our contact section. Let me just reload this page. Unauthorized. Oh yeah, there's no API key, whatever. So it would create a contact. Then what we would do is after that then call that contact. So we would get that contact ID that we would get in the response. As you can see right here, we would get data ID, that would be the contact ID, and then we would take that contact ID and actually call it with the interview ID, and the interview ID is the Thoughtly agent, which is very simple. So you could get that set up in 2 modules on make.com, and then the conversation would start and everything would be flowing. But I didn't, for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to manually call myself. So let's call myself and see how this call works. So as you can see, I'm getting an incoming call on this software I'm using, and I'm gonna accept it.
Hello, am I speaking with Hugo?
Yes, hi there.
Hello, can I ask if I'm speaking with Hugo?
Hello?
Hello, is this Hugo?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. My name is Mary from Solar Tech. I'd love to help you understand your potential savings. I just need to confirm a couple of quick details to ensure accuracy.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
First, could you please provide me with your address? By the way, this address will not be saved in our system. It will only be used to calculate the savings and will then be deleted off the system.
Yeah, my address is 88 Undercliff Road, Montclair, NJ 07070. Wait, let me do the whole address again. It is 88 Undercliff Road, Montclair, NJ 07042.
Great, thank you for that. Now, what's your average monthly electricity bill looking like?
It's probably around like 150, I'd say.
150, got it. May I ask what made you interested in exploring solar energy at this time?
I guess the cost savings, as well as obviously better for the environment.
Understood. It's great that you're looking to save money and help the environment at the same time. One more question for you. What do you hope to achieve in the long run by switching to solar energy?
I mean, like solar would be obviously all those things. The environment, it would save me some money, and I would prefer it to be on my house. Like, I think it would increase the value of my house. So yeah.
That makes total sense. Increasing your home's value is a great benefit. All right, so I will run the estimate calculation. It can sometimes take a few minutes, so I'll leave you to your day now. I'll send you the savings estimate via text. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's good, thank you.
You're welcome, Hugo. I'll get that estimate calculation sent to you soon. Have a great day.
You too, bye-bye. Okay, so that was the conversation. It was quite nice. At first, it didn't hear me, but I think it was something to do with the recording having an issue, because I had 0 issues with it hearing me when I was testing it whilst not screen recording. So it's most likely to do with that somehow. And now the automation is running. There we go. And essentially what's going to happen here is I'm going to receive a text. Let me see if I'm going to get one. Maybe... well, if I don't receive a text, yeah, here we go. So, hi there. I'll read out the text. Hi there, here are the results of your solar analysis. Your roof has approximately 2,935 square foot available for solar panels based on 3D modeling of your roof and nearby trees. You could save an estimated $26,082 over 20 years with solar installation, and the recommended size of your solar installation is 5.1 kilowatts, which equates to about 90 square foot. Let me know if you have any questions. So essentially what I built there is, we're using Twilio, by the way, to send the message, but that's just because like I mentioned earlier, I am not yet A2P certified, so I can't send a message on Thoughtly itself, so I had to use Twilio. Anyway, so what happens is when the call ends, as you saw earlier when I said we have the integration, we have that webhook enabled in the general settings. Actually, let me just, for due diligence, show you what I meant. So we go general developer, and down here we have this response webhook. So that is what's happened here. And within this data, we get the transcript. So hi, am I speaking with Hugo? Hello, hello, whatever. It didn't hear me for some reason. And then we have the whole transcript. Then what I did was send that transcript to an OpenAI step for it to format the address and the monthly bill. I wanted to extract those two key pieces of information from the call, which is needed for my solar analysis or solar savings analysis. Then we sent that to my Replit, as you can see here. And what we got back here was the solar analysis results. And that is your roof is, etc. The thing I read. But as you can see, the data is ugly. So what I did was basically do another OpenAI step to make the message and format it nicely for an SMS. And then we're using Twilio to send that to my phone number. And after that whole scenario runs, we get that nice solar estimates saving sent to our phone, and the conversation was pretty good. If we wanted to actually look at the conversation, we'd be able to go into the library.
Hi, am I speaking with Hugo?
For some reason, as you can see, you can't hear
Hello?
me talking.
Am I speaking with Hugo? Hello? Can I ask if I'm speaking with Hugo?
Hello? And then you could hear me. So
Hello?
for some reason, you won't be able to hear me at the start. Anyway, now if you're interested at all in how I did the solar estimate saving, just for kind of to explain for the people that care, I used Google Solar API, and that's where you can kind of input someone's address and their monthly average electricity bill, and then based on satellite things they have, the stuff like that, they can give you a savings estimate. So it's all Google really doing the work in the back end. But again, this is a cool scenario. What you could potentially do is pair this agent with a website like this. So I just built this on Framer quickly. We have a landing page that is taking leads from Facebook ads, telling them that they can get a free solar savings estimate. Then I would input my name, so Hugo pod at artilloai.com. Then I would input my number and I would press submit. 5 to 10 seconds later, the Thoughtly agent calls me, asks me for my details, like that conversation we just had, and then it would again send me an SMS telling me my solar estimates. And that is a nice outbound way to use Thoughtly. Now, I spoke about the kind of things I noted down about Thoughtly earlier in the video, and I wanted to just mention one thing within Thoughtly itself, something that I don't like, and I wanted to warn people that are, building with Thoughtly or thinking about building with Thoughtly, and that is just that you are not able to pass like parameters. So on actions, if I were to create an action and I were to do an API call in the query or in the body, let's say here, I would not be able to pass the address. So the person said the address within the conversation, but within the action itself, I'm not able to pass that address that that person said, which is a little bit annoying in the sense that, when I was first building this solar demo, I wanted to have the agent tell me the solar estimate saving during the conversation. And on other platforms like Vappy, like Synflow, like Bland, we would be able to build a conversation where someone tells me their address, someone tells me their average monthly bill, and we use a tool that then gives me that solar estimate saving, and that information could then be passed on to the person on the conversation itself, which is what I was first looking to accomplish, but I wasn't able to because of the kind of limitation in that sense in Thoughtly. But again, that wasn't the biggest of issues because I had a workaround, which was to simply use make.com to do it all in the back end and then send an SMS post conversation. So it's really not a big issue. If you're working on voice AI agents, it is not something that is a game changer at all. It is just something I wanted